Welcome to Gloucestershire's Country Matters. My name is Tim Andrews and I'm the County Director for the CPRE here in beautiful Gloucestershire. We are the countryside charity and we do all that we can to help promote, protect and enhance this beautiful county of ours. This is one of a series of interviews and chats that I'll be having with people that are just passionate about looking after the countryside and their local area. Today I'm going to be meeting Pippa. Now Pippa does an awful lot in her local town. She is a parish councillor and she's also one of our district members on our committees as part of the CPRE. It's going to be a really interesting conversation, I think. Let's go meet her. Hi Pippa, thanks for meeting me. So where exactly are we today?
We're on the outside of Minchinhampton in a road called the Knapp, which has a field over there which was recently a planning application for 35 houses and luckily got rejected.
Wow.
Yeah,
I mean it's absolutely stunning out here, isn't it? I mean the views across are just amazing.
Yes, it is very beautiful, yes. This is the valley. We're facing the north and the valley underneath is the Golden Valley that leads into Stroud.
Right, so it's quite a special location in terms of the views and everything like that, is it?
It is, it's very beautiful, yes. Very important landscape area.
Yeah. Well, it's freezing cold out here today. We're at the start of March and certainly there's a cold spell on its way. So I wonder if we go off to yours and have a cup of tea.
Sounds like a good idea.
Good, right, let's go. Well, thank you very much for inviting me back. It certainly is a lot warmer in here than it was outside. So I understand that you're heavily involved in the parish council. What exactly do you do?
Oh, gosh, I'm actually on about 5 or 6 committees, I think, on the parish council, as well as the main council meetings. So a lot of what I do is to do with the commons and the ecology of Minchinhampton, and that leads to traffic because that's one of the main problems on the commons up here is traffic. So, and then I'm on all sorts of other committees as well, including planning.
Right. So Minchinhampton's quite a special place then, is it?
Yes, it's one of the largest parishes in Gloucestershire, I think. It might even be the largest. And a lot of it is the site of special scientific interest, which is the common, which makes it quite different. And the whole parish is in the AONB, so that makes a difference too.
Right. What do you mean by AONB? What exactly is that?
That's the area of outstanding natural beauty. So it has all sorts of restrictions on it in terms of planning, but the idea is to make it a special place for countryside that isn't built on, that is a place that people can come and enjoy, and that remains special countryside rather than just part of a town.
So there must be quite a difficult balance between protecting Minchinhampton and other local towns and villages like this and providing homes and things for people. It must be quite a popular place to live as well, I'd have thought.
Yes, it is. Well, the parish council's view, I think, is that we would quite like to choose the places where development happens rather than have them imposed on us from the district council. So we have a neighbourhood development plan in which we said, look, we will choose places that we would like to be developed, but on the whole we would quite also like to have developments dotted around the current communities rather than in one large dollop on the edge of a town or a village. So that's the way the community wanted to go.
Right. So the site that we met at, that was called the Knapp.
Yes.
So why was that quite a controversial site, and what exactly happened with that?
Well, this was a site that people have tried to develop it for several years, and each time it's been refused. This time the developer positioned this as one for affordable housing, although they weren't very specific on how affordable the housing would be, and as house prices in Minchinhampton are quite high, arguably they wouldn't be affordable at whatever level. But anyway, that's another issue. The main problem with the site, as far as the parish council was concerned, and as far as CPRE was concerned, was the landscape issues involved in it. So it was right on top of the wold, the high wold, which is the part of the sort of landscape ethos here, and it would have been very evident from afar. We would have lost the green field on the top of the hillside. That was why it was refused.
Because the views there were just amazing when you looked out across, weren't they?
They are, yes, absolutely beautiful. And there have been several instances where that has been abused in the past, and I think we're trying to keep it green from now on, hopefully. Anyway, luckily the inspector turned it down, refused it, so that was a great relief for the community.
Right, so is that now a done deal, that it can never be developed? How does it work?
No, somebody could come along and challenge it again, but the question is whether they would be successful. Probably not in the short term, but things change.
And are there other sites in the town where there's pressure for more development as well then?
Yes, the Stroud District Local Plan is currently under review, and they have chosen a site for 80 houses just on the edge of the town. And again, it's in the AONB, and planning legislation says you shouldn't develop large sites in the AONB, and this is 80 houses, and that's quite big under anybody's rules, I guess. So we're hoping that doesn't happen, but it may. We're fighting that at the moment too.
Right. So what kind of things are the parish council and the CPRE worried about then?
What, with that particular site?
80 houses.
Well, it would change a lot in the town. At the moment, the town is accessed through almost on all sides through single lane lanes, and so it would make a lot of difference to the traffic flow through the town, and apart from anything else. But in particular, we just feel that it's not suitable in the AONB, so close to the site of special scientific interest, which is the common, and also it has a scheduled ancient monument literally abutting the site, so it seems to be a fairly special site, and it would be better to be avoided, I would have thought. And the parish council is coming up with places where they would like to put affordable housing, so there are alternatives available. It's just that this one has been chosen by the district council for the local plan, so we're rather hoping it will be refused.
So you're also quite heavily involved in the CPRE as well, aren't you? So what do you do for the CPRE in Gloucestershire?
Well, a little bit, not as much as other people, but I'm just on the district committee, so for Stroud District, so I assist. Elizabeth is our chairman, and is really, really good, very sound on planning, so she and I tend to collude on planning issues, which is helpful, and we keep an eye on local planning applications, that is in the whole of the Stroud District, CPRE district, and we comment if we think it's appropriate.
So how do you decide whether something's appropriate to comment on? Is it just because people live local to it, or
No.
What's the criteria?
Basically, we tend to comment on things that are outside the settlement boundary, particularly if they're in the AONB, and also we try to look at what the local parish council is saying about that, because we consider that they have a very much more intimate and detailed view of the planning applications than we do, so we take their position into account as well and support them when we can.
Right, and what do you mean by the settlement boundary? For those of us who aren't into planning and things,
well,
how's that defined?
In Gloucestershire anyway, I presume in the whole country, but I'm not sure about that, there is a defined settlement limit around each town, village, whatever, and so there's a sort of, I suppose it's easier to get planning permission within the settlement boundary than it is outside it. The planners tend to look more closely at planning applications outside the settlement boundary, I think, and it's they're probably more liable to refuse it.
And so, outside of it, is that just to stop the kind of sprawl of a village or town just growing?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly that. And it could be that settlement boundaries change over time, but at the moment, hopefully not. For Minchinhampton anyway, we're trying to stop that.
So the CPRE seems like a great resource for parish councils then.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we're very lucky in Minchinhampton in that we have our chairman is very well informed on planning, but even so, it's really good to have expert backup that you can refer to if and when you need it.
Because with a planning application, it's not just about the emotion, is it, in terms of objections or comments? It has to be done in quite a particular way, I think.
Yes, you have to refer back to the local plan, and which has a lot of policies that might apply to a particular planning application. So you have to cite those, and also there are national planning guidelines that you have to refer to as well sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, I know within the CPRE in Gloucestershire, we've got real planning experts that really help out the districts.
Yes.
As well.
Yes, very much so. Yes, which is wonderful, irreplaceable.
Yeah. Good. How long have you lived in Minchinhampton? Have you been here a long time?
Yes, I moved here in 1990.
Right.
Quite a long time ago.
Yeah. And what's your favourite thing about living around here?
The countryside. It's fabulous.
Yeah.
It's just wonderful.
Yeah.
Just such a valuable resource. It's very worrying to think that it might disappear gradually, get eaten away by housing, as has happened since I arrived. Really, little bits have got nibbled away. It's quite sad, but it is a wonderful place to live.
Because I know you've got a really quite a beautiful but slightly crazy dog, so you must see the changes when you're walking your dog.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah. So
yes.
your dog's a bit like a big teddy bear, I think.
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
In fact, she looks very much like the teddy bear I had when I was a child.
Really? There we go.
Which my children point out to me.
I won't say how long ago that was. There we go. Well, thank you so much for agreeing to chat to me today. It's been absolutely lovely, and thank you for the coffee as well, helping us to warm up.
My pleasure.
Good, thank you, Pippa.
My pleasure. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. So my name is Tim Andrews, and I'm the County Director for the CPRE here in Gloucestershire, and this was Gloucestershire's Country Matters, and we do all that we can to help promote, protect and enhance our beautiful countryside. Thank you so much for joining me today. Thank you.
Pleasure.